Welcome back. In this video we're going to look at arrays and for loops because they have a very close relationship and we're going to use them for a bunch of things, but the two simplest uses for loops with arrays is going to be filling the array and printing the array. Other things include things like summation, the product, etc., finding an average. We'll say that a bit later, but if you understand these examples, it's easy to apply it to other examples. So what we're going to do to start is we're going to declare a small array. Let's say int a5. So we've got an array of 5 ints, and what we're going to do is we're going to get the user to enter the values into the array. So we're going to also declare our iterator for our array, and we'll have our little for loop, and we're going to run that till the end of the array. Okay. So what you can see here is that arrays and for loops work really well because we can start at the start of the array, we can go to the end of the array, and we can increment by 1. Now inside of this for loop, we're going to print a message to the user. We're going to say enter value %d, and we'll put a couple of dots there. All right. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually write I plus 1. Now why am I going to write I plus 1? Because for us as engineers, scientists, IT, we understand that an array starts at 0, but it's not very intuitive for your normal user. So by adding 1 here, it's going to print to the user, enter value 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But where we're actually storing it is index 0, index 1, index 2, index 3, and index 4. So this just makes it easier for the user to understand what's going on. All right, from there, we can now scan the values in using our scanf, and we can say %d, because we're getting an int, and we want to store it in the address of AI. Okay, so this here is filling the array with the user entering it. It could be filled from a file or somewhere else as well, but you can see that this is a common operation that we want to do, is fill our array, not by initializing it, but from some other source. We need to enter one value at a time, and we can do this with our for loop. And so this relationship's really nice. Okay, so enter the value 1, we scan it, we store it at index 0. Come back up, I increments, we now say enter value 2, we scan it, we store it at index 1. Okay, remember that we're printing out 2, but we're actually storing it in 1. Another common operation that you'll likely need to do, and this is really handy for debugging as well, and this is printing the entire array. So you can't do something like print f %d a, okay? It won't work, it won't print out the whole array. So what we need to do instead is loop through our array and print it. So I'm just going to put a printf. I'll put values in array. Okay. And then what I'll do is I'll do a for loop, starting from the start, going to the end, and incrementing by 1. Okay. I could obviously modify this so that I could print out every second value, or not go to the end, or start from a certain point if I needed to. And this gives us a lot of flexibility. Okay, but if I want to print out the whole array, I can do so just by printing out each value. Now, with this, I'm also going to put a little space after the value, just so the values aren't all together, because if they're all together, let's say the user entered 5, 14, 21, 2, and 6. If I print them all together, I'll just get something like that. So I want to put a space between them just so that I can differentiate the values. Okay. And I can just go I here, and that will print out my values in my array. And then I might just put a new line at the end just so that it's nice and neat. Okay. Now, this here, okay, basically you can copy and paste and put it wherever you need to test your array, so that you can see what's in it at particular points, because it is hard to know what's in your array at different points in the program. And as we've been talking about, testing is really, really important, and so you can use this printing. For the scanning, this can be modified for your purpose. So sometimes you might not want to ask the user every time. Maybe you just want to say, please enter 5 values, and then just have your for loop after that. Or as I said, maybe it's from a file or something like that, where you don't even need a prompt to the user. All right, so these are the common operations for arrays using a for loop. As I said, there are plenty more, but if you understand these two, it's easy to apply them to other things. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you very much.